will not pass. Welcome to part 2 of the button-up shirts that I got at Ross. What's up, guys? I changed the name of the channel. I got tired of saying Pretty Picture Party, and somebody also pointed out to me that not having tarot in the title is probably making it hard for tarot people to find me. So welcome to Mr. Taylor's Tarot. I'm Taylor Ellis, the artist behind the Ellis deck tarot and the tarot of the Starbound Phantasia. And last time we talked about a young guy, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, maybe a girl, maybe a they, who knows, it was the fool, but they didn't really have a lot of mileage yet. They were a beginner. Anything could happen with them. One we're talking about today, not so much. The Nine of Wands is tired. They have been on the road. They have made a name for themselves. They are definitely carrying a load with them. They've probably got some battle scars, battle scars. Not doing another take. And they are wondering if it's ever gonna stop. Now, the element of this card is fire, like all the wands. So what we have to do is think about the quality, quantity, what is the state of that fire. And with the 9, I think of completion. So I would think of like a completely built fire, like the campfire is set up and roaring, or we've got the fire going in the fireplace, and it's kind of time to chill out and relax. We need to acknowledge that the work has been done, at least for the day. It's the end of the day, it's not the end of the week. We have the 10 of Wands to go after this, so you definitely need your rest. Kind of need to tend to your wounds, count your wins, and air your socks out, because damn. A good I Ching hexagram to think about with this card is 47. Lake over water, which is oppression or exhaustion. And the image is of a lake that is slowly being drained by an abyss that is opened up beneath it. So what do we do with a dry lake bed? We still call it a lake. It's still a lake on the map. It's like one of those, I don't know if you drive through like Texas or Arizona and they're like, oh, here's the Bug Death River, and it's like weeds and gravel, and surely somewhere down in there is some water, but we're not seeing it. And that's kind of where we're at this point in our journey. We're kind of dried up, and we know who we are, and we'll be them again as soon as we get a little rest before we continue on. The line 3 is the one that is kind of pointed to specifically with this card, and it talks about that we allow ourselves to be oppressed by stone, and then we lay down on thistles and thorns. And stone's an inanimate object. Stone's not going to oppress us unless we're running into it. And so it's like we may be hitting our heads on a wall. And even, when it's time to relax, it might not be a situation where we can really relax very well. It might not, we don't have a soft spot to land on, but land we must. And the sentiment is keep on trucking, but take a nap, dude. The astrology of this card kind of helps us understand how we might have gotten here. The sun is in Sagittarius, and the sun is very confident and very driven, and Sagittarius is very also driven, also very into possibilities, and at the same time very much stubborn about it being their way. And we may have been going our own way too long, or maybe unwilling to listen to the advice of others. Sagittarius is pretty good about exploring options, but they kind of have to be the one to see them. And this is putting us in a spot where, we're kind of drunk on our own bullshit in a little bit of a way, where we may have dragged ourselves along a little bit too much. And like the I keep saying take a nap. Maybe I want a nap. It's only like 9 in the morning, but it's like getting a toddler to lie down, or getting that really stubborn person to just rest for a second. It's like there's no virtue in wearing yourself down. And so this is one of those astrology correspondences where I look at it as almost like pointing out the disease. Let's take a look at the Ellis deck first. And here we have somebody almost saying, "You shall not pass." And he's a little beat up. He's got some bandages on his face. He's got them wrapped around his arm, a little bit going on around his chest. We can't see what's going on under the cape. He's standing, but he's definitely wounded. He's been through it. We could think about the Seven of Wands, the kind of warrior with the staff, and this is probably him a few years down the road. And we see he's got a wizard hat, and it's made out of like hardened brown leaves. And I would think of that like that's our knowledge, our wisdom has come with time, and it's no longer. This is not the card of the spring chicken, I would say. It's not for beginners. This is an experience. It'll put some hair on your face. You know, it's contributed to some wrinkles in your life. And that's, you know, I think it was Henry Rollins, and I'm sure he's probably said some stuff I don't agree with, but he's also said like knowledge without mileage equals bullshit. And at this point, we have knowledge and we have mileage. We kind of know better. We are leaning on the staff at this point in time. We're not necessarily wielding it, but that doesn't mean that he's not casting something powerful. Behind our wizard are the rest of the staffs. They've kind of become this forest, and it's where, you know, at one point they were all just little sprouts in the ground, and we cared for them, we protected them. We, you know, went to City Hall every time the commercial developers were there saying, "Hey, let's put a mall here," and we said, "Fuck no, your mall sucks." And, you know, the forest is still there. And what do we have to show for that? We have this fox spirit that has come to our aid. And what is that? That's our spirit. That's our willpower. That's our soul. And it's got 9 tails at this point. And if you think about a fox spirit, they're an animal that grows tails over time. They start off with 1, they get a little bit more power, a little bit more age. They have 2, and before you know it, maybe not before you know it, after a long time, they've got 9, and they've got power. And this means that this is coming to our aid, that, you know, we don't necessarily have to, we can let the work speak for itself for a little bit. It's time to stand back and let the spell do its thing. Coming from another angle, we have the Starbound Phantasia, which I would look at as more of a talisman of confidence than a display of fatigue. And what I mean by that is we look at kind of the dominant staff of this card is straight up and down. It's stuck in the ground. The bottom of it is like this pen nib, and this white light, this ink is coming out. These roots are growing from it, and they're going to grow into the mushrooms we see on the next card. And what they are is the like network of our creativity, the like world building. Think about like a writer that creates their own little universe. It's like the universe has already been made, or is growing for us to then start to plant our little characters down in and let them start happening and interacting. And the staff comes up into this eye that's looking at us locked in, and that's almost the psychic power that we get from experience. Like we can see a certain type of person coming from a mile away. We can see exactly how a situation is going to play out. The warning for that almost is like the sun in Sagittarius again, is don't adopt that. You've seen this guy, you've seen them all. We still need to let people prove themselves, but we might have a hunch about what they're about. And the serpent that's coiled up there and it's locking eyes with us, that's the Kundalini has become active. That base energy that we started with has traveled with us, has gone up the spine, and is a lot. We're capable of a lot more than just quick making stuff. We can build really great complex things. That long-term projects are something that I think of with the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, anybody that's ever written a book or done, someone that's made a tarot deck, I'm sure someone watching this video has also done that or is in the process of doing that. And it's more than like the person that does a doodle, and there's nothing wrong with someone that can just do a one-off piece of art, but anything done in the day is one type of work, and then something that's done over time, you're not even the same person you were when you started with a long-term project. And with this, we have really risen to that level. The achievements behind us, those could be past work that we've done. They are all things that could stand on their own, but there's almost an army of them. And so again, this is like the confidence card. We can rely on the power of our work to speak for itself. Each of those staffs in the back has like a little fire pit, almost like it's this little shrine of fire at the top, and it's holding this spiritual, like, holy fire is smoldering or burning there. And then we go down the staff, which is made of like holy birch wood, and at the bottom of that is the end of a Vajra scepter, and that's like the diamond. It's like the combination of like lightning and diamond together, and that's like the power of our spirit or our faith. And to think of that, we don't just have one of these, we have a whole collection of these, and we're accomplished. We've got something. It doesn't always hurt to rest on your laurels. Sometimes your laurels are a soft spot to lay down on for a second if you're really feeling it, if you're really going through it. And if we look at the back of this card, we see that the world is burning. Stuff is falling apart. And so this is the ability to build something that will stand the test of time as the world kind of falls apart around it. If you're gonna judge yourself, do it on the whole arc of your journey. Don't do it on how you feel today. And that's something that comes across with both of these cards, is not necessarily the state of the central figure as much as what has grown up around them. And if you give yourself the space to do that and see that, maybe you're not done yet, but look at what you have done. And that doesn't mean, rush ahead, slop it together and finish, poorly. It means that maybe you've earned a little rest, and maybe it's time to go back, tighten it up, maybe pull some weeds around those big trees, and get ready for the next part, because it's the freaking Ten of Wands. But anyway, thanks for watching today. I'd love it if you hit like and subscribe. If you don't, I understand. It's really hard to click the mouse button. Use the whole finger. There's like 3 bones in that finger. It's a lot going on there, but I appreciate it. If you'd like to check out any of my decks, there's links down below. I put a link down below for the website I like to use for my I Ching correspondences. If you'd like to add anything to the conversation, or you feel like I left anything out, or you're curious what the hell I'm talking about, leave a comment down below. And other than that, happy reading.